What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm gonna kind of wait a little bit for people to go ahead and chime in. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. I'm actually, if you click if you guys really want to kind of chime in with me, I'm actually doing a podcast at the same time. Um, if you click the link in my bio, you can go and join me on YouTube. So if you want to join me on YouTube and be a part of the show, that's cool. If not, I'm just go ahead and leave this for the masses for everybody on IG. So I'm kind of cover a couple of different things. I'm doing something a little different. Usually when I go online, um, I usually just try to like interact with you guys and see what's going on. So I appreciate you guys joining in. Y'all like my Culture Collision shirt? Shit hard, right? Yeah, it's pretty dope. So I'm pretty appreciate you guys. All right, so if you're following on, I'm sorry, I'm actually on both. So for the people that are online on my YouTube show, hey, I'm going live. So check that out. All right, so I'm actually going live, and you can actually kind of see me interact um, with you guys on IG as well as YouTube. Because unfortunately, there's no way to really kind of interact with both at the same time. But I want to kind of cover a lot of different things today. So I want to say I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate you guys joining in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. I couldn't really start the time for the people on YouTube for 8 o'clock because I waited till last minute. Um, so I wanted to say Prism God Back show is back. I'm still working on making it better, but at the same time, I got so much stuff going on. It's hard for me to kind of like focus on the podcast at the same time as working on this show because we're working on so much different stuff that I think you guys are going to be really excited. As of right now, we almost have like 7 sponsors, so the show is going to be really dope in Atlanta. I know we're going into this weekend with Dallas, but man, I'm really just excited, man, and I hope you guys gonna be excited about the show I'm trying to put together. I hope I make you guys proud because I feel like it's like my baby that I'm kind of giving to you guys. Um, so for the people that are watching on YouTube, we're gonna go ahead and start the show right now. Check this out. I said I'm trying to do the best that I can with you guys and try to continue to make it organic. What's up? What's up? What's up? This is the PrizmGawds show. I'm on YouTube. I'm just kind of like repeating the exact same thing. So today, I want to say first and foremost, I want to apologize to you guys because I feel like this is my way to kind of give back to the hobby, to educate and talk about things that I feel like are important, especially with the hobbyists, because as we continue to grow and scale, right, it's important to kind of have these conversations. So I really like having these conversations with you guys. So I appreciate again your support. Yeah, I'm in Georgia. I'm in Georgia, Big Mike. All right, so tomorrow I'll be in Dallas. We got a really crazy weekend. Culture Collision is actually going to Dallas. If you follow me on YouTube, I'm sorry, follow me on IG, you'll see earlier that I posted a bunch. Talk to you about that by the end of the segment. But right now we're gonna start off with the first segment, me just kind of apologizing to you guys and saying the question mark of where's Mark? Nobody knows where's Mark. All right, so I do know what Mark is. So like literally, this is kind of like been our gift to give back to you guys on a weekly basis. But what's been happening is Mark actually, when he got back from the last Dallas trip, he actually got sick with COVID and he had to kind of deal with real life. His family got sick. So shout out to Mark for still being a tough soldier, for trying to do the best he could do and try to work with me on the show. So I just want to say that, hey, Oh, so sorry, so sorry. Can you hear me now? Sports car review. Is that good? Can you hear me now? Let me know. I put my audio on for you guys. Hold on. Dang, that was like almost a waste of an episode almost. So check this out for the guys on YouTube. If you can hear me, make sure you hit me up and say, "Hey, I can hear you," just so I can wait for you guys, and I'll continue. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. All right, so cool. All right, so I want to say again, you guys on YouTube, the same thing I just talked to the people that was on Instagram. I want to apologize first and foremost for not doing the show because ultimately I appreciate you guys subscribing to the show to talk to me and be engaging of what's going on in the hobby. Previously, no, but oh, say I'm far. Okay, sorry, the mic is right here. All right. Let's see, Lombard Sports Cars playing in is good, but I think it's if you're a seventh. Yeah, I agree. I can hear you clear from the beginning. Appreciate it, Fred. All right, so but the guys on YouTube they couldn't really hear me because I actually didn't have the mic right in front of me. Now I got the mic right in front of me. I'm good. I feel like I'm a rookie again because I ain't been on here in almost a couple weeks. So again, I apologize. Mark's not here. That's okay, but again, we're still growing. We're gonna get better. You say Insta can fill us in. I'm sure they will fill you in sports car review. So check this out. So as I said before, life happens and that's okay. Again, backtracking a little bit for the people on YouTube. Mark actually after the last Dallas show, Mark had contracted COVID and it kept him down for 2 weeks. We tried to have a show. He wasn't up to it. He kind of fell back from it. His family ended up getting COVID. So a lot of things happened on Mark's side. So I want to say I apologize again. I mean, there's nothing we really can do about that, right? So Mark kind of had been down. And then now, guess what's happening right now with life? Life is the world is opening back up. So Mark has a full-time job, and that's cool. Shout out to my boy Mark. We always gonna be boys. But for me, the vision for PrizmGawds is more than what you guys have seen. And I'm trying to continue to get better, and I'm striving to continue to get better and educating and trying to focus on making things better. So again, I appreciate you guys checking in and chiming in. So without further ado, we kind of want to go back to that third segment. We're talking about sports in this play-in situation. So I don't know if I necessarily like it. I understand the reasoning behind it because of the fact that, yes, sir, Culture Collision, you see it. All right, this is one of the shirts, and I'll kind of cover that later on in the show. All right, so with that being said, no, I kind of like the NBA play-in situation. It's all right. I feel like if you worked hard enough to become an 8th seed, you shouldn't have to contend for an 8th seed and shouldn't be cool for a 9th seed to be able to get a chance to get there. I don't like that aspect of it. So out of respect for I kind of agree with the LeBron in terms of, all right, if I'm an 8th seed, I'm an 8th seed and that's cool. So, and it allows people to go ahead and play for that seeding. So I don't know, it's a situation like how Washington lost last night. Now they got a chance to potentially play Philly. But if they would have won, they would have played Brooklyn. So I don't know if I necessarily like that because in my mind, I'm thinking that I would have liked to have seen Westbrook play Kevin Durant, which I thought would have been super dope. It kind of been like a revenge series, which would have been super dope. And I still got either Brooklyn versus the Lakers in the finals. Just so I'm still very. If you check the last YouTube, a couple months ago when NBA first started in December, I had Darius on. I had Mark. It was me, Mark, Darius, and MC Sports Cards. And shout out to him, Mike. So such a cool dude. He'll be right next to me at the Dallas show if you guys are going out to Dallas. So we all kind of had our idea of who we felt like was going to go to the finals. Mostly everybody said Brooklyn and Lakers. But my dark horse to come out of the East, I think, don't sleep. And I've said it before on Facebook, if you follow me, is Milwaukee. I like Milwaukee. I like the fact that nobody's talking about Giannis. I like the fact that their team is actually better than what it was last year. And I like the fact that they get to play Miami. And I feel like it's good. It'll be a good revenge series for them. And I hope that they win because I think that Giannis really deserves to win a ring. And I think that with the way that Giannis prices are, if you guys are paying attention, PSA 10 base for $6,000 at one time. You can buy one for $2,000 now. I think those are solid investments. So that's just my 2 cents. Baseball, I'm kind of talking about baseball a little bit. I really haven't followed baseball that much. I went to a couple games. I don't really pay attention to baseball until usually the playoffs or the World Series. Lombardo Sports Card says on my IG, guys, Bucks are my pick for the finals. Yeah, hey, That's a solid pick in my opinion. I think with the weight, with all these injuries and everything, and the fact that Brooklyn has not really played as much together, then I think that I don't know. I like to see Giannis get a ring, and I think it's one of those. Is a weird season where he can go ahead and get one. He our playoff dogs. Yes, I like Victor Oladipo. Yes, I like Jimmy Butler. But I don't know. I think Giannis has something to prove, and I think he's going to really play well this series. I think he's going to actually play really well. So that's just my 2 cents there, right? All right. So appreciate you guys checking in because there's definitely NBA basketball being played, but you guys chose to go ahead and join me on YouTube and Instagram, and I appreciate that, guys. If you guys have any questions or concerns, I'll always answer them as like always, and just put my 2 cents in. So the next thing I want to talk about, right? This is like kind of like segment number 4. So with the world opening back up and everybody's kind of going back to work, right? These prices are kind of changing. Like I think we just kind of noticed today that the stock market kind of, I ain't gonna say it crashed, but it took a major dip, I think, in crypto. I kind of want you to know what your 2 cents is on that, guys. If you guys want to kind of chime in on what you think or what's going on, that's cool. For me, I don't do investment stocks like I used to back in the day, and I really don't focus on cryptocurrency. My head is usually filled on just sports cards. That's all I do is really read about what's going on in the sports world. So crypto is not really me, but for the people that do it and they're doing well, shout out to you guys. Hope you made a lot of money. Great. But I know with the world opening back up, I think people have more options, and I think people are so gung ho. And I think you guys that are traveling all the time to go to these different card shows, you're experiencing these all the airports that used to have nobody there, like they're completely filled, and now people are just kind of like everybody's want to go travel somewhere. So with that being said, like I mean, the world's open back up, so I don't know. But I will say this. With the hobby, I think is going to be sustained. It's going to be fine. There's a couple of different things that are going on, and I'm going to talk to you guys about that shortly. Well, yeah, with the hobby, will the hobby sustain? Basically, I think that it will. But I think we do have a problem, though, right? So the reality is this, because what we're seeing is high-end stuff being sold at a fast rate. And I think that one of the problems that we see is people like Golden, PWCC just started their own premium eBay type service, their premium auction. All these auction houses are seeing cars that we haven't seen in a decade. So, in my opinion, I feel like I personally feel that that's one of the problems, right? Because we have so many people who are seeing numbers that we've never seen before that we're gung ho about selling it. Because what we seen is that we saw a PSA 10 Michael Jordan sell for 700,000, right? Then 20 people decided to sell it the exact same time on different platforms. And when you oversaturate the market, it's unfortunate, right? But the prices drop because it becomes more accessible. And even if you guys followed me when we on our journey when we bought the BGS 9.5 Giannis PMG Green, a BGS 9 sold a month before that for $99,000 on Golden Auction. When we sold it on an auction, it sold for $75,000, which is realistically doesn't make sense. But I think that what we're seeing is an oversaturation on rare cards. So it's kind of messed up in my opinion. But I mean, you can't blame anybody but these, in my opinion, just the auction houses and maybe the people that are selling them. So my suggestion for people who are trying to sell high-end items is basically just pivot to something different. I mean, there's apps like Collectible out there to do the fractional investing. So if you have something really dope and you want to get max amount of dollars, choose something different. And I think I talked about that in one of the last podcasts that we did, I think with Mark. And use these other options out there that potentially could be better than what, the lighter is, which is the Golden Auction or the Heritage. And I'm not knocking any of these guys, but again, I just think that we're going to start seeing oversaturation. But on another note, an investment note, PSA 9 Jordans are worth $75,000. Now you can buy one for about 30 grand. I think some of these investments are actually good buys because I think we're going to have another surge of LeBron's going up, of Jordan's going up. So I think it's going to happen again because everything happens full circle, right? All right, so DW4 hobby cards. The MJ PSA 10 was bought by one of the investors into the auction house before it was announced. Okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, oversaturation. All right, so Sports Card Review says oversaturation is not good. This was important for the black swamp find when on auction. Correct. So again, one of the biggest problems that we're seeing is we're seeing all these rare cards pop up out of nowhere because we've seen numbers that we've never seen before and they're being sold. And when you oversaturate the market with rare cards, it the first card always sells for this high. The second and third card always kind of goes down like this. So um in my opinion, just for the people out there who have these rare cards, if you want to move something, I don't really suggest some of these auction houses. I think you're better off just finding a private sale, maybe do a trade, because I always pivot, so to speak. Sometimes I always tell people, sometimes you got to get the numbers that you want, you kind of like pivot or trade off and then trade up or trade down and then move to the side. So it's just all different ways, all methods to the madness on how you want to interact, right? So I don't want to spend too much time on that. Since what you're talking about is very similar to the ARC ETF owned by Kathy Woods, which was high-end tech stocks that have been dropping in price for months now. Very good. I wish I knew more about that, but Lombardo Sports Card. I wish I knew more about it, but you're probably 100% right. But it's just a lot going on. It's almost like kind of like right now. I think the hobby's almost playing like a hot potato type situation, and I don't want to talk too deeply about it right now, second. But this is something I think we're going to talk about at Culture Collision. Is the future of the hobby and how we can kind of prevent things like this from happening. Is people have to really evaluate and figure out if they're a collector or an investor. And I talk about it on my YouTube show. Is trying to figure out which one you are first, right? And that's if you guys are out there that are investors, figure that out early. Be an investor, kill it, right? If you're a collector, I hope you find what you're looking for at a reasonable price and you don't get caught paying this astronomical number because the player that you like if you're a fan of Pat Mahomes, you might have to pay this number. But unfortunately, like from an investment standpoint, is that a number that you really want to be at right now? I can't say that that's a correct answer. So you got to figure that part out. But I will say this: I love people who genuinely love cards, and I genuinely love cards too. But unfortunately, I do this full time. So with me doing it full time, I'm kind of like a collector and an investor, and I kind of have to pivot. JS says, "How was the Miami show compared to the Dallas show?" The Miami show was actually awesome. Anytime you go to Miami, it's kind of like a vacation. I stayed for an extra 2 days. So, and I know people who stayed for a week and then they did it to the show. So ultimately, JS, I would say the Miami show was super dope. We all enjoyed it. Um, I hope my boy Summertime does it again. I'll be there. I'll definitely set up. It's an awesome show. Like I said, it's right there by the water, nice restaurants, beautiful scenery. And I had fun. So JS, I think you'll like the next Miami show as he continues to grow and scale. All right. So cool. So another thing that's I think is going on, right? Because the world's opening back up, we're starting to see a surgence of. And shout out to you guys on IG jumping in. I got like 15 people on IG and 5 people on YouTube and Facebook. But that's cool. I appreciate that, right? Because I know it's basketball. See, Lombardo, long-term investing has always returned the most rate of in the history of investing. Crypto-based Prism, all short-term trades, in my opinion. True. For the most part, you're right. But when you have situations like Giannis, when his base cards used to be $1 and they turned out to be PSA 10s became $6,000, that's a crazy rate of investment. Like that's a freaking amazing investment, right? If you'd have bought 1,000 of them at $1,000 and put them in a box, even raw, I think you still got pretty good money. So, but like I was saying, with the world opening back up, we're starting to see a resurgence of shows. Every day there's a show. And I've had people tell me, because we got Culture Collision literally, I think it's 2 weeks before Nationals, right? And there's also the Dallas show that's going on the same weekend as Culture Collision. There's enough space in this United States to do multiple shows, because the reality is after a while, it kind of like you don't want to oversaturate your brand. And I think that going to different destinations and trying different things, I think is very important, right? Let's see, Basketball says show draft. Let me know what you mean about that, Zach. Show draft. Oh, I know what you mean. Okay, sorry. It just made sense to me. Show draft. All right. So with that being said, I just think ultimately try these different shows. Try different shows. You never know. Like at the end of the day, I just went to where we go, Scottsboro, Alabama last week. We chose to go to Scottsboro, Alabama, ultimately because of the region that we're in. We can Culture Collision can literally be the greatest thing on the East Coast Midwest, South, whatever you want to call it. And I'm planning on being that with you guys' support. But try these try different shows. Go to Miami. Go to Dallas if you've never been. Go to California. Go to New Jersey, New York. Try different shows because I think ultimately you never know where that right deal is going to come from. And I think the dope part about the industry is it's so small and so tight niche that you can build enough relationships to where you ain't got to go to necessarily go to a show and then still benefit from a show. Because if you have people that out there are buying for you, then you can, say, hey, I'm looking for certain things and you buy from them. So it kind of goes back to you anyway. And all right, so here's something interesting. I want to know from you guys, right? For the people that are watching or listening, I want to know your input on what makes a show great. I just want to guys just type in some of the little comments of what makes a show great. Because the reality is I think I have an idea what makes shows great, but I want to know from you guys what makes a show great because ultimately it'll help me make our show great. Does anybody know what makes a show great? Does anybody? Nobody? Anybody? Chime in, talk, say something. Am I going too fast? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? All right. So with that being said, nobody said anything, but I'll say this: dealers like to deal with cash and trades. JS, absolutely. Dealers like to deal with and the environment. Vic, appreciate it. All right. So with that being said, you guys are both absolutely right. The environment creates the energy for the show. Dealers like to deal with cash and trades, 100%. So you have to have people that have cash to buy product. Somebody says good DJ, good display cases, etc., good prices. The people, the relationships, Lombardi. Okay, cool. To me, great deals and meeting other folks in the hobby, security, a little bit of everything. Absolutely. So it sounds like we already have a good formula here. What makes a good show? So in my opinion, right, I'm gonna tell it like this. Every day, I'm sorry, not every day, but every weekend last year, I went to a show, different show across the country. I started to see the exact same people at every show. And every show I went to with those exact same people was a good show. So, I'll answer that question dead foot in a minute. All right. So, with that being said, here's something you guys should think about. We make the show. We are the culture. If you want a successful show, go to the show. Be a part of the show. Be engaging in the show. Talk to people. Do trades. Go to trade night. To participate in everything that's going on at that show, and you will have a successful show. You will have a good show. Whether you make a lot of money or not, you'll build a relationship with somebody that potentially could and make you money in the future. Right? Since I'm still not seeing shows in Bay Area in California, there's actually shows in the Bay Area in California. We went out there and we went to 4 different shows in like one weekend, man. There's definitely shows out there. What I would do, Bertram 510, I would download the show locator and just check that out. And they usually post all shows. And if you need a show in that area, hit them up and they'll kind of find one for you. All right. So with that being said, like I said, man, like literally be engaging in the show. It doesn't make sense for you to go to a show and just go to your room and come down, right? That's old thinking, right? Because at the end of the day, like we need to be engaging. At the end of the day, we're a very tight-knit community of people who cycle money and buy and trade and build relationships. And we have fun doing it. And that's awesome. It says there's a show coming up in Fairfield, Savage 26 card says, building a relationship more important than making a dollar. Absolutely. You kind of start seeing me pivot sometimes towards giving out really good deals on stuff. I just got sold to Russell Westbrook two raw refractors. I sold them for I think $1,500 to somebody on Instagram. I think the last PSA 9 did $1,500. So ultimately, he grades them. He potentially can make some money. But I was buying those things at like $150 a card. So for me, it does not matter. I can pass that along and allow somebody else to make some money because that's what the community does, right? We are supposed to do those type of things. We try to look out for each other. We try to be engaging. If somebody gets something stolen, we should be reposting it. We should be talking about it. It should be something that people should be able to say, I heard about that, man. Like, that's unfortunate. We gonna find the situation. We're gonna find your card, whatever, right? So that's dope. So that's what makes a great show. I don't want to go too deep on it right now, but I think those. I mean, we're pretty much we make the show. That's why I always say you always catch me on IG saying we are the hobby. At the end of the day, it's me and you collaborating together, make deals, make trades, come up with some. And the dope part about the hobby is being able to negotiate, figure out something that makes sense. And it's just, it's just dope, right? And we have fun. We go out of town, we travel, we eat nice restaurants and catch flights. So that's what makes a show. Now, what I've started kind of like, doing my own show, right? Like it was really exciting in the beginning, but it was a lot of hard work that ultimately I did not realize that goes with putting a show together. I've talked to my boy in Tampa. He does the Clearwater show, Redbeard. Really dope dude. If you guys are in Tampa ever and he has a show going on, make sure you guys go check him out. And a lot of the conversation that we've had, he's been really dope trying to, answer questions and help me out with trying to figure out solutions on certain things. And it's been dope, but it's also kind of been stressful. So a lot of times you guys haven't really seen me post new cards because ultimately I've just got a lot of stuff just sitting in boxes. I haven't had time. Like this weekend, it's probably gonna. I'm so looking forward to the Dallas show. We're about to literally make a movie, and I'm just so excited about that because I got my team with me. We come and bring some money. We about to spend some money with you guys. We about to do some trades. We want to do some Willing and Dylan. So if you're in Dallas, you're gonna come by and have a good time with us. Let's see. Lombardo Sports Card. This is kind of a serious question, but curious on your thoughts on this. Are tax people at shows a future risk to shows due to the high-end deals and cash that we do that do happen? Okay. I've seen people try to do tax sheets like I guess counties try to offer like tax sheets in smaller cities. I don't think you can really do that. I don't think there's really a way to kind of like govern that somebody's going to do it. And then like think about it like this: if we did a trade, how can you tax a trade? You can't. But hypothetically speaking, if I made a profit from it, how can anybody really like know what it's sold for unless I just sold it? If I sold it for cash, nobody knows. So I don't know. I don't think it's something you really got to worry about right now. As we continue to grow as a hobby, as a community, I mean, I'm sure we're going to get hit with all type of new things that we've never heard of, and they're going to come out with new governs, and of course, the government's going to try to figure out a way to get money. But if we're paying our taxes, we're doing our just dues, I think we'll be just fine, right? All right, so Redbeard Show grows every week. Absolutely, bottom feeder. You need a tax advisor. Exactly. There you go. One-on-one collectibles. Because I'm not a tax advisor, for the record. I want to say that I'm not a tax advisor. Maybe one-on-one collectibles is a tax advisor. Tax advisor. All right. So I want to kind of talk about this. So with the new challenges that I've kind of reached, kind of like there's one hobby shop in Georgia that would not allow me to put flyers up. And one of the reasons why they wouldn't let me put flyers up are is because they said we're 2 weeks before the Nationals. So I said to him, I said, well, I feel like that's an old way of thinking. And I think the problem with this hobby is there's a lot of people that are like thinking like old school. Like, man, forget all that old school stuff. Man, this is a very new hobby. We're dealing with new money, new energy, new people, younger players. And at the end of the day, you got to kind of rewire yourself. And I think if you're one of those people that are new to the industry, be open to change, be open to what's going on. If you're if you're old in the hobby, do the exact same thing. Figure out a way to rewire yourself and be open enough to know what's going on. We go to shows every weekend, so we don't care. We don't care where the show is. I'm going to New Jersey. I'm going to New York. I'm going to California. I'm going to Dallas. I'm going to Chicago. We might go to Milwaukee next time. And so at the end of the day, I think that if we're going to shows every weekend, we're doing this as from an investment standpoint, then I think that we have to rewire ourselves. He said, is it Dalton or Gilmore County? I have no idea, man. See, bro, see you in a D. Yes, sir. I'll see you guys in Dallas. I know who you're talking about. Fred Charles says you know who I'm talking about. Well, I appreciate you knowing what I'm talking about. Maybe you can tell them it doesn't make sense to stick with your old thinking because the reality is this, right? Who cares about your old thinking? We are a new hobby. We are the hobby. At the end of the day, we control our own destiny on trying to be successful, being a failure in this hobby by educating ourselves. And that's what I'm trying to do at Culture Collision is we're trying to have these conversations. I'm not just going to talk to myself. I'm going to talk to all the masses that are there. Plus, we're going to have people on a panel and we're going to talk about the future of the hobby. We're not going to stick with the old way of thinking. We're going to figure out ways to do it. We have all these different companies, these billion-dollar companies who just can't, who reemerged to try to make money in the hobby, because ultimately there's so many different areas of opportunity to make money. You can be somebody that's 14 or 15 and come up with an idea that can be successful in the hobby, right? Let's say Steel Curtains, what's good, brother? Yes, sir, Fred Charles. I do want us to come together. We the people control the market. Exactly. Exactly. It's very similar to, I think I don't know if it's similar to crypto. I don't know if it's similar to Bitcoin, but I don't know necessarily. I'm not 100% know how Bitcoin really works, so I'm probably bad with that. So it's just like regular business. You have to change with the times. You absolutely. So there's too many old thinkings. I think I'm tired of going to a show and it's just a show. I feel like the energy that I want to bring is I want to bring something fresh. I want to bring some energy. I want to bring like something new that you guys have never seen before. And I think that if we continue to focus on striving to get better, then I think you're going to see that. And I think you guys are going to be proud of what we put together, because we're really busting our ass trying to make sure me and my boy Charlie, Miss Prism Goddess, we are busting our ass trying to make sure the show is amazing to you guys. Let's see, but also let's look deeper into this. Who is the owner of the store? If it was a different person that went to the person, asked them what they had let them put into. I don't want to go too deep into that bottom feeder collectibles, because ultimately I know where you're going with that, and I don't want to open up that can of worms, because the reality is I don't want to go with what could be the obvious. I don't know. Um, that's a whole nother conversation. I really don't want to go there right now, but I'll just sit here and say that I'm just going to say it's old thinking, because the reality, like I said, like I talked to this gentleman and I said, well, he says, I've been in a hobby shop for 30 years. I'm like, okay, cool. But there are literally 14-year-olds who are carrying millions of dollars who just like, they just got $1 million off buying or selling a card or whatever. And now they're a player in the game, and they had just started 6 months ago. And you're 30, you've been here for 30 years. You might not have $1 million. I'm just being honest. In this particular shop, I don't know no background or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like, with there being new players, I think you have to be open to new ideas. So let me answer some of these other questions. What do you think about grading and the new ones coming out? Um, I think we have to be open to new graders. I actually talked to CSG, my boy Shane at CSG, and I was trying to get him to come out to the show. So maybe you guys can help me put some pressure on CSG coming to our show. It's gonna be super dope. We're looking for somebody to come out there and make some noise for us. But I think you have to be open to some of these new graders. I'm also kind of pivoting myself on how I'm grading. Like, I'm almost not even grading anything under $1,000. It just because it doesn't make sense right now. Like, you're gonna spend $600 to get a PSA 9. Doesn't make sense to me. Just saying. All right. Let's see. Crypto goes up and down based on Elon Musk tweets, and that's how it's been for the few months. Absolutely, I could truly believe that. I'm gonna be there for sure. It's July 16th through the 18th. 100% correct. As you can see from the shirts, I'm actually gonna update the website, and I'm kind of talking ahead of myself here, but yep, Culture Collision is real, baby. It's real. It's real. It's at a real show, at a real venue. I'll kind of go over some of the shirts for you. I just showed you the Spider-Man shirt. It's pretty dope. He has some sneakers on. You're gonna see me if you see me in Dallas, you're gonna see all the merch. I'm wearing all the merch all weekend, so you guys might be a little jelly. Let's see, how many tables are you expecting at the Atlanta show? All right, so I'm gonna be very clear about the Atlanta show. We sold over 270 tables. We only have less than 180 tables left. I promise you. We just sold 4 a second ago, just through the conversations we've had. They're coming through. Not even lying to you. So we're gonna be sold out by the end of the month. I plan on being sold out at the end of the month. And so as we're continuing to be sold out by the end of the month, we're gonna put a list together to build for the next show. And we're gonna make it bigger and better and keep focusing on driving it to be better. Let's see. How many tables? Let's see. It's all about the cards you get graded. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're 100% right. There's certain cards that I would probably grade and sit on, and because if it's somebody I believe in, I'll just wait. Maybe when the costs drop, maybe I will. I think when PSA decides to bring back their like $50 grading or whatever, I probably will grade some of my low end stuff that I feel like is a good investment to sit on, because it doesn't make sense to rebuy it again. But I'm looking forward to trying to figure when that happens. All right. So, any concern a slab junk era is brewing with all the new graders and a lot of new people in the hobby assume any card graded means it's worth more. All right. So, I like where your head is at. I like what you're thinking about, but I think we are the people that determine the value, right? Because we're the community. We decide a PSA 10 is worth X amount of money. We decide a 9.5 is worth X amount of money because somebody bought it off eBay or we have a comp that shows it sold for such and such. We have to make that decision. We have to make that decision. We have to decide that if we are going to make CSG credible, we have to decide if it's going to be CSG, SG8 is going to be credible. We have to decide that my boy Mike Baker's brand is going to be credible. And if you don't know Mike Baker, feel free to check me on YouTube. He actually did a segment with me, and I'm going to have a second segment with him later on, talking about what as we get closer to Culture Collision, because he's going to be a part of Culture Collision. You guys can ask him a million questions about grading. He's a really good, solid dude. Love the guy. And he supports the brand, and I love it. And he's all about education. So this is what it's all about. So for me, I think that we have to decide what's next. We just have to figure that part out. And I don't think we figured that part out yet. I think we're kind of like waiting on PSA. I think a lot of people just like waiting on PSA. And that's not good. It's not good for the hobby, in my opinion. So I'd love to see PSA open up some of those streams and get better. I just don't know. I mean, I've been sitting on 1,000 cards to let PSA right now, and they have not moved. So I'm not happy about that. All right, so I am Jimmer. Let's go. Appreciate you, brother. I'm from Birmingham. Might ride over the show. Appreciate you. You definitely got, man, if you're in Birmingham, you got to come to the show. Come. If you go to the link, go to Culture Collision Trade Show, you guys can get a discount on the hotel room right now. If you need a table, book your room. Yep, Mike Baker, not Mike Barker. Mike Baker. All right, so we're thinking about what's next. What's next is Culture Collision. Because of what's next with Culture Collision, there's actually areas of opportunity. And we already talked about it on previous shows where all these different companies like collectibles, we have Loop. Loop is actually going to be, they're actually one of the sponsors for our show. And I hope to talk to you guys about that later on. We have Mike Baker. We have my boy Sappy. They did RCR. Any tables left? I saw something where was 450. Yeah, we're doing 450 tables. We do have tables left. Feel free to click the link at culturecollisiontradeshow.com and book your table as soon as possible. And let's see. And next thing is Nationals is happening. So Nationals, again, is 2 weeks before Culture Collision. If you've never been to Nationals before, it's an amazing event. I will never bash another show because I'm doing a show. Because at the end of the day, that's not how we're going to continue to grow as a hobby. I will never bash another show. Dallas is a great show. Miami's a great show. I'm sure Wisconsin was a great show. I've heard people say great things about it. And like I said, I don't want to be that guy. Never going to be that guy. Even if you do me wrong, I'm still not going to be that guy. All right. So what's the future? Let's see. Nationals happening. What does that mean for the hobby if Nationals is hopefully we're in store for good things. I can't speak for the Nationals because I don't work for the Nationals. Have no clue what they're trying to do. If they need me, I'm here. If not, then that's great too, because we'll have Culture Collision. But I just think that we have a lot to look forward to with the Nationals. I think a lot of these vendors and sponsors are waiting to the Nationals. We haven't seen Panini in 2 years. We haven't seen, unfortunately, we won't see Beckett. We won't see PSA at the Nationals to do on-site grading. So if you're looking to do that, you will be very sadly mistaken. It's not going to happen. They may take submissions, but I don't think they're actually going to do on-site grading, which is what typically people go to. I'm going to grade 100 cards. I'm going to sell them at the show. Not going to happen. Different dynamic. What's going to be dope about the Nationals is the fact it's going to be 1,000 tables. It'll be the biggest show in the United States as of right now. And that's good. Let's see. Will the industry become burned out is one of the questions I'm kind of thinking. You guys answer. You guys burned out with going to shows? Is anybody burned out with going to shows? I love it. So for me, I'm not burned out. I'm tired, but I'm not burned out. So with that being said, I don't think we have nothing to worry about. I think we're in good hands. I think a lot of the main players still travel, and myself included. We love to travel, so it's fun. We make money, we travel, we meet new people, and hang out. So Miss Sports Card chimed in and said, nope. So there you go. All right, so what's the future look like of the hobby? All right, so what is the future look like? Well, to me, the future looks like Culture Collision, if you ask me. but I ain't gonna talk too deep about that yet. We're just gonna say the future looks like Culture Collision. As we start to, as what I've noticed is the minute we talked about Culture Collision, people kind of started doing certain things, and that's cool. Not knocking you, I appreciate it, because then this is like a compliment. I appreciate it, so I'll just say I appreciate you taking my idea. All right, so that's the nice way to look at it. All right, so a lot of people kind of like, I've had I don't want to say old. I'm sorry. South Carolina has 0 shops in the state. I think like 2 shows. South Carolina has actually a good show. South Carolina has Spartanburg, I believe. Spartanburg has a show. Raleigh has a show. Feel free to check those places out. MBHITC. Check out Spartanburg. Check out Raleigh. I just came back from another one. Then Hickory has another show. Well, I get you, man, but those shows are pretty frequent. I mean, if not, then you may need to travel, catch a flight, and you can catch a flight, man. You just follow me. I'll usually post where I'm going. All right, so Culture Collision. All right, this part, if you want to get off, that's fine. I'm gonna talk about Culture Collision at this point. Culture Collision is a sports card first show. We are introducing sneakers, Pokemon, memorabilia, and sports cards. Chantilly is this weekend for the guys that want to go. But there's also Dallas, and I think there's some other shows in California I think I saw this weekend. But we're our sports. I repeat for the people in the back of the room, if people are wondering what Culture Collision is. It is a sports cards first show we're adding sneakers with memorabilia, Pokemon, and such and such. I think I said the other thing later on, but yeah, Hickory's this weekend. Okay, what's up? So the city. Okay, I thought actually, yeah, I know you. Okay. All right. So with that being said, we want to be a fresh, innovative show that you guys have never seen before. I don't want to go to too much details, but as we get down to it, what I plan on doing is rolling out more and more information. The people who have not gotten their tables yet, it's $200 for the weekend. Yes, the tables are $200 for the weekend. So if you book your table now, you'll be good for all 3. Also, for the if you buy your table till the end of the month, you'll also be entered in a raffle for a free set of 2 tickets to the Braves game, which Wiz the Collector is actually enjoying tonight because I'm actually giving you guys my time to talk to you. So that's basically it. If you come to the show this weekend, we about to make a movie in Dallas, and we're about to show you what Culture Collision is. If you're in Dallas. So with that being said, if you guys saw the video where I had posted the t-shirts, we're going to give away free t-shirts this weekend, all weekend. If you come to my table, you follow Culture Collision, you follow PrizmGawds, I promise we about to have fun. That's so dope, cards and sneakers. Yes, man. Hey, there we go. We are the future of the hobby right now. So I need you guys' help to support the brand and make sure you guys come out and we have some fun. But if you're in Dallas, I repeat, you come to the table. You ain't gonna come to the table. I don't want to ruin it. Just know that we about to represent in Dallas. We about to have a good time, and it's about to be turned. We're gonna be right next to Alt. Alt's gonna be on our left side of us. They're sharing a table with us. We're also gonna have MC Sports Cards gonna be on the right of us, and we're buying. We're buying. We're doing trades. We're willing and dealing. If you guys want to be a part of that, that's cool. All right, so next and last thing is we are Culture Collision. So because we are Culture Collision, we're doing this in Dallas. I already kind of covered that. And we will be giving out the Culture Collision t-shirts. I already said that. The Culture Collision t-shirts were listed on my YouTube page. If you guys want to see those are exclusive to Dallas only. We're not doing those t-shirts at any other show anywhere else. Those are Dallas only t-shirts. The shirts that'll be on the website in June, we're doing, these are going to be a limited run. We have the Spider-Man t-shirt, which is right here. Kind of give you guys a preview. Spider-Man t-shirt. There you go. There's the Spider-Man tee. All right. Then we're also doing the sneaker tee. I'm trying to do, and I think I'm missing a few. So you'll have to see some in Dallas. The sneaker tee, Culture Collision. All right. Atlanta. Are you going to do tickets available the day of the event, or do we have to buy them online? All right. So glad you asked that question, BR. I don't mind answering that. We're going to do a pre-sale on tickets, which means the tickets will be slightly discounted. for upfront tickets. If you want to buy your ticket in advance, it will help us speed the process to get people in. And we'll do that probably the first week of June. We're still, like I said, we're working on we're revamping currently revamping the website. The website should be up by June 1st. And at that point, I'm going to kind of cover the t-shirts and doing a limited run on the t-shirts. And then you can either pick them up or order them online, however you want to do it. And then the tickets will be on there as well. Tickets for kids are free. Any kid that's under 12 years old is going to be free. Any adults, you got to pay $20. At the door, you'll pay $20. The weekend is $45, so you save yourself $15. And you also have access. And then I think we're doing a VIP ticket as well. So I have to kind of go over that when I do. Then we also have Friends and Family Red. Well, sorry, this is the official t-shirt of Culture Collision. It's yellow. And then we have a Friends and Family Red, which clearly, if you are a part of Friends and Family, that's why you'll have a red one. And that's this. Check that out. So Friends and Family red, and then the yellow. I have a few friends and families that are left. And then here's one of my favorite t-shirts. I don't have all the t-shirts on me. The rest of them are actually going to be tote. So that's the Culture Collision t-shirt. Dope about this is it has, bam, King Griffey on the back. So it's the Griffey tee. So we have a Griffey tee. We have the official t-shirts. You know, I pride myself on trying to make stuff that I feel like people will actually wear. So I hate going to shows you just buy a shirt. I'm just buying a shirt to buy it. I want you to buy my shirt because you actually like it. So to me, I think that makes a whole lot more sense than just buying something just to buy it. I've kind of always prided myself on trying to make things really dope and make it exciting. So I'm trying to do the best that I can with that. So bear with me. And I hope you guys love the show. So with that being said, I'm done. If you guys chime in for the first time, if you go to YouTube, I'm actually going to get off right now on Instagram. Appreciate that Infinite Auctions and appreciate that Sadati. What's it? Sod. Oh, what's it say? Something City Cards. I don't know. Appreciate that. If you guys follow me on YouTube right now, click and subscribe. I'm going to go ahead and show you a trailer of the show and come check me out. PrizmGawd out on IG. If you still on YouTube, I'll give this to you as a gift. Peace.